Every morning, millions of people hit snooze, while some people are already awake at 5 a.m. They're reading, exercising, planning their day, or simply enjoying a few quiet minutes before the world gets busy. But here's the interesting part. Waking up at 5 a.m. isn't what makes someone successful. So what is the real reason some successful people choose to wake up this early? It's what those quiet morning hours allow them to do, and the first two reasons have very little to do with the clock reason number one. They get quiet time before everyone else. Think about your normal morning. Your phone starts buzzing, messages arrive, emails appear. Someone needs your attention, social media starts pulling you in before you've even decided what you want to accomplish. Other people's demands are already competing for your attention. But early in the morning, things are different. The phone is quieter, the streets are quieter, your inbox isn't demanding your attention. And most people haven't started their day yet. That gives you something incredibly valuable. Uninterrupted time. You can sit down and think without constantly reacting to something. You can read, exercise, write, plan, or simply enjoy a few minutes of silence. And that's the real advantage of 5 a.m. It's not the number on the clock, it's the lack of distractions when everyone else is asleep. You can finally hear your own thoughts, but there's another reason this quiet time can be so powerful. Because many people don't actually start their day with their own priorities. They start with everyone else's, and that brings us to the second reason. Reason number two, they start with their priorities, not other people's demands. Imagine waking up and immediately checking your phone. You see 3 emails, 5 messages, a few social media notifications, a news update. Suddenly, your attention is somewhere else. Your day has already started, but you haven't done anything important. For yourself, this is what makes an early morning routine different. Instead of immediately reacting to the world, you can decide what matters to you first. Maybe that's exercise, maybe it's reading, maybe it's working on an important project, maybe it's simply planning your day. The point is, you start the day proactively instead of reactively. You're not saying, what does everyone need from me? You're asking, what do I need to accomplish today? That small shift can change the way the entire day feels. You begin with something meaningful instead of beginning with notifications, and over time, that can create something even more valuable. A sense that you're actually in control of your day. But there's a reason this routine becomes powerful, only when you can maintain it consistently. And that's what we'll look at next. Reason number 3, it creates a sense of control. There is something powerful about starting your day before everything becomes chaotic. You wake up at the same time, you follow a familiar routine, and before the outside world starts demanding your attention. You've already done something for yourself. Maybe you exercised, maybe you read, maybe you planned your day, maybe you simply sat quietly with your coffee. The activity itself isn't the most important part. The important part is that you chose it. Instead of spending the first hour reacting to whatever appears on your screen, you're deciding how you want your day to begin, and that can create a feeling of control, not control over everything that happens. Because nobody has that, but control over your own actions, and when you repeat that routine consistently, it becomes easier to trust yourself. You start thinking, if I say I'm going to do something, I actually do it. That kind of self-trust can become more valuable than the early wake-up time itself. But there's one problem. You can create the perfect 5 a.m. routine and still fail to maintain it. Why? Because successful routines aren't built on motivation, they're built on consistency. Reason number 4, they don't rely on motivation. Imagine waking up at 5 a.m. and asking yourself every morning, do I feel like getting up today? Some days you'll say yes, other days you'll hit snooze, and eventually the routine disappears. That's why discipline matters. When something becomes a habit, you don't need to debate it every morning. You already decided, you simply get up and do it. This doesn't mean forcing yourself to live on 4 or 5 hours of sleep. That's not productivity if you wake up early. You still need enough sleep to support your health and performance. The goal isn't wake up as early as possible. The goal is create a consistent schedule that works for your life. And that leads to the final reason, because the real benefit of an early morning isn't waking up before everyone else. It's what you repeatedly do with that extra quiet time. Reason number 5, they use the morning to invest in themselves. One morning won't transform your life. Reading 10 pages today won't make you successful tomorrow. One workout won't change your body overnight. And planning one day won't completely change your career. But repeated small actions can create a completely different life over time. That's why some people use their quiet morning hours for things that compound. They read, they exercise, they learn, they write, they plan. They work on personal goals. The important word is repeatedly, because success rarely comes from one dramatic morning. It comes from small actions performed consistently. And that's why the real lesson of the 5 a.m. routine isn't actually about 5 a.m. You don't have to wake up at 5 to become successful. If 7 a.m. works better for your schedule, use 7 a.m. If you're naturally productive later in the day, build Your routine around that, the clock isn't the secret. The intention is the real advantage of waking up early is having a period of time that belongs to you before the notifications, before the emails, before the responsibilities, before everyone else starts asking for your attention. So don't obsess over the number 5. Instead, ask yourself, when can I create one quiet hour too? Focus on what actually matters to me. Because the goal isn't to wake up early, just so you can say you woke up early. The goal is to wake up with a purpose. And when you consistently use your time intentionally, that's when a simple morning routine can become something much more powerful. So tell me in the comments, what time do you usually wake up minus 5 a.m., 7 a.m., or later? And if you want more simple habits that can make you more productive without working harder, watch the next video on your screen.